Hey, everybody. This is Movie Versus, the podcast in defense of bad movies, and this is a prequel episode. I am Tyler Lamb. I'm joined by my host, Steve Janik. Steve?
Hey, Tyler. I'm doing well tonight, which you didn't ask.
I did not. And then my other co-host, or my other host, because I called Steve a host, Charlie Pixley. Charlie Pixley. What's up, Chuck? I tripped over your name somehow.
My new response that I've been using at work, because a couple people have started calling me Chuck, is when they go, "What's up, Chuck?" And I just go, "Vomit" or "throw up," because "up, Chuck" is another term for vomit or throw up.
Okay, hold on. Can you repeat that? I'm taking notes. Upchuck is another...
Let me Jay Leno this again. So, okay, so you see, Upchuck.
Yeah, Upchuck.
Like, oh, he Upchuck.
You know, you don't have to put on that plaster chin when you say you're going to Jay Leno something.
We prefer
This
that you
isn't
don't.
plaster. This is genuine flesh.
Genuine's here?
Genuine's flesh. You might notice that it must have been I did a poor job blending them together. That's how you might have noticed.
And on this episode, Charlie is going to assign movies to Steve and I to see for next week. As well, on the docket, we have the movie, which is... Steve wanted me so badly not to say that. I could see in your eyes. You're just
Tyler
like, don't
won't say
do
it
it.
anymore. I'll say it's movie.
The movie newsreel, which is what Steve wants us to call it, is the movie newsreel. And send your letters in to tell him how lame he is. No, and then also was
that a shot at movie newsreels being so old that we could only be contacted about it via post?
Yes, P.O. box number. No, I'll just give Steve's address.
Please don't
send direct mail. And we're also Jesus Christ. We are also going to discuss Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Because we all three saw it. Not together, but we saw it.
Yeah.
And we have thoughts to discuss.
A couple.
Yeah, only two. But yeah, so I guess, we got a lot to pack into this one, so let's just get it rolling here. And then stuff we actually like at the end. Charlie, let's get this assignment on the road.
All right, so I'm going to pick one of you two, and I'm going to go evens versus odds, and then I'm going to give you the title of one of the movie's names, and you tell me if you want the other one or you want the normal one.
Can we do evens versus Stevens instead?
Oh, sure. Okay, so Stevens are odd. So, let's see. Steve, you're going to be Stevens.
Okay.
Oh, you're okay. I didn't...
I thought I was going to have to be evens, and Tyler was going to be Stevens. Because that's how my life
Charlie's
works.
spinning around the old lotto bucket bingo thing. You got a ball. Is it
41?
Ooh.
So Steve, you get to pick if you want this movie or not. And the name of it is Holiday in Handcuffs.
I may have seen that, so I'm gonna pass on that one.
It doesn't matter if you've seen it though.
I know, but I would like to see something else. If it I'm gonna gamble.
Okay, so you want to pass that?
I will pass that.
You're getting A Very Merry Toy Store.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
I have not.
Okay, then you get A Holiday in Handcuffs.
Now,
you can find this movie in clips online, so you can piece together.
So it'll be a very similar viewing experience to that of Glitter.
Well, I was gonna say
not on YouTube. I mean,
it's gonna be a similar viewing experience as to how they made the movie, just in clips.
Oh, I thought you meant the actors in handcuffs
during the holidays. All right, so I guess
let's just watch the trailers and see what they're about, and then we'll talk about the theme.
Yes. The theme of these two movies is that they are both Christmas movies starring
TV Christmas movies.
Rom-coms. Starring Melissa Jones Sweetheart.
Calling back to episode 1 for those of you who have been avid listeners.
And my sweet
every day for Tyler.
Yeah, because my sweet back tat.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about your
back tat. That is, what is the word again? Lenticular. Okay, I was thinking onticular. I knew that wasn't right. And also, we don't even have to tell people this because not since Clark Gable and Vivian Leigh has there been two people with such red hot chemistry on screen together that people went together.
Wow.
I didn't know Vivian Leigh's name.
No one does. No, some people.
I knew Clark Gable,
I don't
but
think I will in about 20 minutes.
but I mean, you can assume the movie I'm talking about. I'm sure because I said Clark Gable. Gone with the Wind.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what I was guessing, but I wasn't confident enough in my answer to say.
It's actually pronounced Goblies.
Well, hold on. How about this one? Oh, what's the name of that Alfred Hitchcock movie? Psycho. No, I'm kidding.
Birds.
Not since James Stewart and Grace Kelly has there been just two dynamite actors on screen together. Not since Charlie. Do you want me to give you some stall?
Nah, I can't remember his fucking name. Stall.
Okay, and because those two just were dynamite on the screen. People loved it. They were both very attractive people in their own rights.
I would like to point out that I could help, but I'm not going to.
And with those two on screen, you're looking for. I mean, that kind of chemistry.
Oh,
and is there another?
Yeah, just like I would say James Caan and Kathy Bates from Misery.
Just like James Caan.
Jesus.
And Kathy Bates.
That might be Can.
James Caan can. He should run for president.
Yeah.
I don't know that would go great.
I mean, his campaign is already written for him. But Melissa Joan Hart and Mario Lopez share the screen. I mean, it's always not enough that they share the screen. But these two movies specifically that go by the names of
Holiday and Handcuffs.
Yep.
I will.
Got all the gunplay in it.
I will say that I was misremembering at least what I knew about. I thought Holiday and Handcuffs was Melissa Joan Hart and Joey Lawrence.
Joey Lauren Adams.
No, Joey Lawrence. Because I'm pretty sure they did a Christmas movie.
They've done a lot of shit.
Who's Joey Lawrence?
He was the older brother in Blossom.
Who's Joey Lawrence?
They had a show together that
Melissa and Joey.
It's
just called Melissa and Joey.
You're right. It was.
He's also the guy, the star, the lead in Horse Sense.
And he goes,
whoa. Yeah.
So who's Joey Lawrence? I mean, my joke was good though. The Joey Lauren Adams one. You guys got that?
Yes, definitely. That one was a good one.
That's pretty good.
I didn't get it.
Well, Joey Lauren Adams. Joey Lauren Adams. She's the girl from like Chasing Amy and all those. She
was the love interest in Big Daddy.
Yeah. Here you go. She kind of looks like
okay, gotcha.
Renee Zellweger, but like different.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
I kind of thought she looked like Scary Spice, but different.
Like entirely different.
So, Holiday in Handcuffs and 12 Dates of Christmas are the movies.
12 Dates of Christmas was last time. I have a very merry Christmas story.
I would watch 12 Dates of Christmas with you guys if you want.
A very merry toy store.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do that 12 Dates of Christmas viewing. So Melissa Joan Hart, Mario.
But we replace any music
Peebles.
with the music from Christmas Crush.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Mario Lopez and Melissa Joan Hart are together again for two movies that we are watching.
God.
I'm going to get confused and just watch a whole bunch of America's Best Dance Crew.
Sure.
Which is hosted by Mario Lopez.
And I'm going to get confused and watch Clarissa Explains It All.
Melissa Joan Hart probably watched that program.
I was about to say.
She definitely did.
I'll accidentally watch God's Not Dead 2 again. I would never make that mistake.
That's what they're going to call the next movie.
I'll never make that mistake.
No, God's Not Dead 2 again.
I was gonna say after watching this movie, Tyler's probably gonna be like, they should rename this movie to
God is absolutely dead.
I was about to say God has to be dead. No, just cut out that.
And then at the bottom, we'll say, wait, no, it's just Melissa Joan Hart's career.
I was about to say, cut out any form of like semblance or any minute bit of wordplay and just make it there is no God. Just straight to the point.
It's just we were wrong. The movie.
It can't be
the musical.
So we gotta move on though. But those are the movies we're seeing. We had some quick little teaser trailers.
The trailer for Holiday in Handcuffs did surprise me. It was
only,
very weird.
It was very surprising.
Only in the, I cannot count the second he's out of handcuffs. How is he not away?
How is the holiday still going
she's
on?
Got guns, I guess. They're probably in a remote cabin, and there's got to be a blizzard, and her son that's in a wheelchair won't actually be in a coma wheelchair.
And then, how is her family okay? I don't understand anything.
Because she's just quirky.
She'll explain it all.
Do. Yeah, exactly.
Thank God for that.
And so let's go straight into the old movie newsreel.
Okay. Damn it.
Steve, what do you got for us? What do you got on the table? I see you got a bunch of papers.
Hold on. I don't have papers, but I do have my phone just to make sure I have all of the details right that I was going to mention.
Yeah.
Let me pull this back up.
I was trying to make it seem like you looked like a news anchor.
Right. No. I don't look like a news anchor.
You squashed that. So we'll just sit here in silence.
So for the film All the Money in the World, which was starring Kevin Spacey,
now it's just a CGI cat.
they reshot it in 9 days to now star Christopher Plummer.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be great now, apparently.
And yeah, so
what?
they in 9 days they did 400 they did 400 shots. Some of them actually bringing in other actors like Mark Wahlberg to film this movie.
Oh well, no wonder then.
So in 9 days they did these.
The man has a work ethic like a god.
Yeah. In 9 days, they did these 400 shots, sometimes recreating full scenes. They did almost all of the same locations, except for there was one where they filmed on location in Jordan, and one where they were in, I want to say, France, and they just kind of green screened him into those scenes. And they only delayed the movie by 3 days. It was supposed to come out on the 22nd. It's now coming out on Christmas Day.
Of next year?
No.
What is this called?
All the Money in the World.
Yeah.
And it's coming out this Christmas Day.
And the reviews are supposed to be really good so far.
Holy fucking shit.
And I
would hate to have worked on that movie.
Apparently.
In any capacity.
Unless all your scenes were done.
Or unless you're getting overtime.
Oh, I'm sure that. Well, the budget.
As an editor or anything.
The budget was $40 million, and these reshoots added $10 million more. So wow. I'm sure those and
I bet his fucking jaw won't look messed up.
Right.
Or his upper lip.
I'm bitter. Yeah.
So
his whole mouth area.
And they said that they didn't even do a lot of ADR. They just made sure they had really good recording equipment there, so because they didn't have time to mess with the audio. They just kind of and the audio engineers were yeah, it was kind of weird because he brought a different tone and cadence to the thing, so we had to kind of mess with how we put it together to make it kind of feel right.
Wow, that audio engineor needs super good bonus.
Yeah, it better not have just been one.
I kind of wanted to see it before, but I'm even more interested now.
Yeah,
that's insane. That's absolutely crazy. But also, Charlie, I think I now have a new theory on Superman's mustache face. I think what they did was they had one CGI team work the first half where they just got rid of everything underneath the nose.
Yeah.
They got rid of everything underneath his nose.
And they edited it all back in.
And then they passed all the footage of nose down Superman completely gone to a new group that has never seen Henry Cavill's face in their life.
That could be. Or aliens. That's just never seen a human before.
And then they were tasked to reconstruct the bottom half of his face.
Yeah. Or whoever was handing out job assignments was all right, you guys are supposed to work on the lighting, and you guys are working on a $100+ million Justice League movie. And he's here you go, interns. Here you go, professionals. I'm ooh, whoops. And the files got mixed up. And I'm oh, shit.
Oh, man, I'd watch that movie.
Yeah, you did.
Does he slip on a banana, and that's how the files get mixed up? He picks them up. He's well, there's no time to sort these out.
Yeah.
Okay, Charlie, what's your news reel? Your real news.
Well, it's kind of something. I'll switch it up. I was going to do this in the reverse order, but I realize now that doesn't make sense. So I watched the trailer for Jurassic World, and I was thoroughly unimpressed. But the news is coming out that Sam Neill might be in it, and I really like his character. In the original
Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, he's great. I really like his character, and then the fact that Jeff Goldblum's back for it, I really like his character too. I mean, all the characters in the original Jurassic Park are good in their own way, but those two in particular are really awesome.
I agree with you, but I also heard that all of the footage from the trailer is supposed to be in like the first 40% of the movie.
I'm not worried about it being like spoilery or anything.
I don't care about the spoiler. I was just like, oh, so there's actually more. Like, there's going to be more stuff. Yeah. Like, it just seemed like...
I remember reading that. Like, the volcano isn't the end of the movie or anything. Right. It just looked hella boring to me. The music was cool, though. I liked how they made the theme kind of evil sounding, but I was just like, okay.
Yeah, the music was cool. Everything else was shit, in my opinion.
Another day with Tyler.
I think that... I absolutely, specifically the
said the same thing coming out of Happy Feet.
The music was good, but I do not like that they have Jeff Goldblum saying "life finds a way," especially the way they revved up to it. Like,
who knows if that'll even be in the movie?
Does this life does that?
It's such a great line from the original movie.
Yeah, I know, and I feel like it kind of like shits on that because then. I mean, you got a good amount of people that are like circle jerking around the whole Jeff Goldblum thing. That when he says that, they're like, "Oh,
no!" That just reminds. I recently rewatched the BoJack Horseman Christmas episode, and like there's like this guy in the audience, when Sarah Lynn says her catchphrase, is like, "She said the thing."
Yeah, it's pretty much that. And I mean, I'm not just being a jaded asshole. I experienced something like that. At my Last Jedi screening, they showed that trailer, and this guy, which this is a whole new topic of people that I don't understand how people exist that know a brand new movie is out, but they're also apparently they don't own the internet, and so they don't know that like any of these trailers have been released or even announced or anything.
Or that the movie was even coming out.
Yeah, like
that'd be incredible.
Oh man,
that's
okay, I was gonna say,
holy shit,
dude, I didn't see like any Last Jedi trailers, but like I was aware it was coming out.
There was
shit.
There was that incredible.
You're alive
there was there was that Incredibles 2 teaser before the movie, and this guy the whole time was just saying, "Finally." And like about time, like shouting. And
you just think babies aren't represented enough in film.
Like it was
finally he can put to bed his copy of Baby Geniuses 2.
And like it was like, dude, this came out like over a month ago, dude. Like we get this movie anyway. For the Jurassic World thing, he was like doing the classic, like pointing to the screen and being like, "Oh yeah, god damn it." Being like, "Oh yeah, like cool, awesome," and then when the life finds a way thing, he was like, "Oh, he said it." And it's like, "Oh Jesus fucking Christ!"
Now, what if they change the trailer and all the dinosaurs are running? It's really intense, and he goes, "That is one big pile of shit." That would have been incredible.
Are we talking about how Chris Pratt runs? Like, what the fuck is he doing? Is that supposed to be a bit?
Hey, like, life finds a way, man.
You know what I'm talking about.
He's got to get out of there.
He runs like an idiot.
Or instead of the pile of shit, he just does this thing where he goes.
I wanted that Velociraptor to eat his hand when he's like.
Oh no! When I was watching that, I was like, no, this is a terrible decision.
I was fine with the Velociraptor kind of remembering him and being fine, but I thought it was so dumb when what's her name, Bryce Dallas Howard was like, "It's Blue.
In the movie?
You raised her."
I saw like some Reddit post or something that was like, if the entire first half of the movie just isn't her just going to jail, I don't know.
I'm assuming that's what that court hearing is. It's probably putting them all on trial for. Anyway,
reckless
you
endangerment.
Had something else as well.
No, that was gonna be the thing I liked was that interests me about the movie. If I didn't know that those two were in it, I'd be kind of like,
it'd be. I mean, Australia's own sweetheart. Sam Neill. It would be nice to see him in
star of Omen 3.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Merlin.
Or Omen 4, I can't remember.
Neither does he.
Merlin.
So that was your news thingy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
It was going to be a thing I liked, but you'll see I'll switch it up now.
Okay. So my news thingy, that should be the name of the segment, news thingies.
Yep.
So I walked out of The Last Jedi. This is not very. This is
You walked out of The Last Jedi?
I did. I did not skip. I did not prance.
No, I mean like halfway through the movie, you were like, "I'm done. I'm walking out."
No. So one of the main concerns I had, and for those not wanting spoilers, this isn't a spoiler.
I think we should eventually get into full spoilers.
We should. I agree. But this isn't a spoiler because it's. I guess you could qualify as a spoiler, but it's not something that is like a. Hey, this is a game changer. This ruins the movie for you. This does whatever. I walked
Plagueis is Kit Fisto.
I was going to save that for later.
There's a lot of cosmetic surgery.
There was a lot of surprises in that sentence.
he had Sidious act like he killed him in Revenge of the Sith.
Perfect.
So yeah, I walked out and I thought, I said I saw it with landlord Kevin. I said, I don't think that anybody in that movie said, I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of weird, like, because that's a Star Wars trope. Like, somebody says, I got a bad feeling about this. And I was like, that's weird. And today, at work, I had a little downtime, and I was like, you know what? Maybe, because that could have easily been something I forgot. Somebody could have said it, and I didn't notice it. Let's look this up. I Googled Last Jedi, bad feeling about this. So, found my news article that states, do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking
Somebody
about.
asked Ryan, hey, Ryan, I don't think I remember anybody saying it. Who said it? Oh yeah, no, that's a good one. I thought it was a little fun. I had BB-8 say it. BB-8 says it with some bleeps and bloops, and then Poe says, happy beeps, buddy, happy beeps. And he was like, originally I had him say something like, well, I have a good feeling about it, but you know what? I thought that was a little too explicit, and so I changed it for a little more fun. It's like, no, like,
the other way would have been better.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, no, when you have a character like Chewie or R2 that talks and just, it's either got to be vague enough to be funny, or if you're referencing something, it has to be explicit.
Yeah.
There's no way. Because that makes you think it's retroactive. That he's like, oh shit, I didn't put that. No, it was BB-8. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Ooh, that was close. Like that is so dumb to me. That's how he gets away with that.
Yeah.
And then going into The Last Jedi, let's do.
Sounds like we're getting into spoiler territory.
No. Let's not do spoilers first. Let's talk.
Okay.
Let's talk about general thoughts at first. And Steve, you haven't talked in a little bit, so
okay.
What did you think of the movie?
I liked it a lot. I think there's a lot of things that I think there were things that I didn't like, but the core of the movie I enjoyed. Like the core of the movie as it pertains to like setting up to whatever it is comes next.
Okay.
I'll leave it for now.
Yeah. Charlie, what did you think?
We're done, guys. I almost felt a little Justice League-y by this, and then I left, and I was like, man, I thought I enjoyed myself. I liked a lot of this, but it was like on the edge of being something like game-changing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So I thought it was all right. I enjoyed it.
It was good?
Like, it depends. Like, are you considered a good movie or a good Star Wars movie? Because that's different than. It was a good movie. I don't know that it definitely wasn't a great Star Wars movie to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to say it was just fine.
Yeah,
it was good.
I understand. That actually
it's better than fine.
That goes
for sure.
Yeah, that goes really well into one of my main thoughts. Coming out of the movie, what you just said. I think that my theory is that Rian Johnson somehow had a script that came across, Kathleen Kennedy's desk. She read
John F.
She read it, loved it, called him in, and said, "Ryan, this script's great. I want you to write and I want you to direct this, but one thing, you need to add Star Wars to everything." Because I think this movie, for some reason, even though it had all Star Wars lore and Star Wars characters, it didn't feel like a Star Wars movie. And I don't know how to explain that other than it just, something about it didn't feel like it was meant to be a Star Wars movie. It's just that he was told, make this a Star Wars movie. We like your script, now make it Star Wars.
All right.
Because and like you said, Charlie, as a movie, I thought it was a good movie.
I mean, this is a Punisher screenplay, but whatever.
This is a sequel to Warzone.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my God. No wonder there was so much death.
Yeah, and cascade gushers of blood from heads. But yeah, no, I thought it was a good movie, but I don't know if I think that it was a good Star Wars movie as much as I think it was a good movie, which is a weird thing to say, and it doesn't really make much sense. But at the same time,
it says everything.
Well, no, at the same time, I feel like you guys understand what I mean,
right?
I mean, as far as the newer movies, I liked it better than Rogue One, and not as good as The Force Awakens.
I think I liked it more. I personally think I liked it more than Force Awakens.
I'd say you guys want to. I want to go into let's. Where would you rank it? Before we go into spoilers, where would you rank it among Star Wars movies?
All of them?
Yes. And then also, if you have some pros and cons that aren't spoilery, I'll go first with that. So I'll rank it. I'd probably rank it maybe fourth or fifth for Star Wars movies. So like above Return of the Jedi, above Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, but below like Empire, Revenge of the Sith, The Force Awakens, and A New Hope. So I'd probably put it like somewhere in the middle, almost exactly. And I didn't say those top or bottom ones in any order, any specific order. Just those are like my top and my bottoms.
I would probably do something very similar to you, except I would probably put it right above Force Awakens.
Gotcha.
So I think I would put it below all the original trilogy, Revenge of the Sith. Because I really liked it.
I might get Jedi on the above it.
I love Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, Revenge
That's
of the
my
Sith,
favorite.
I think Revenge of the Sith might be my second favorite Star Wars movie. Unabashedly, I really, really love that movie.
I'd have to rewatch The Force Awakens, but I don't know. I can't place those two yet on one versus the other yet. It's too fresh.
Yeah, I would say I probably have it below the original trilogy plus Revenge of the Sith, and then probably right above Force Awakens.
I gotcha. Some pros. I loved the expansion of Kylo Ren's character, and then also how they were able to relate it to Rey's character.
I completely agree. That's the reason why I like it so much.
Yes, I agree. Really, really loved all that. I think that Mark Hamill and Adam Driver specifically both fucking killed it.
Adam Driver was super impressive.
They were like, I was highly, highly impressed at moments like, holy fuck. Like, and I was telling you, Charlie, before you got over here, Steve, it made me realize why Mark Hamill became such a big voice actor, because the amount of acting he did with just his the amount of acting he did with just his voice was insane to me. Like, he would say stuff and I'd be like, holy fuck. And then it would go to a scene later, we can talk about other stuff, where the way he spoke to certain characters would change a little bit.
Yeah.
And it would it just was, but it didn't feel forced. It felt natural. Because he's around this character now, and he's like, oh, well, I'm going to speak like this. Well, now I'm around this character, I'm going to speak like this. And I feel like he did a lot with his voice that is worth mentioning. I think the Finn side plot was a con of the movie. I think that it drug into another con, which was the length. This movie was very long, and it kind of felt long near the end. And I think a lot of the Finn side plot with Rose is a little bit to do with that, because I know at one point during a scene with them, I thought, man, this scene's going a little long.
That definitely their little side adventure. Yeah, I was like, this is bordering on way too much that I do not care about.
Bros, you forget that then Captain Phasma finally got to be badass, dude. Remember we were promised that?
That's another con. Captain Phasma's still only in it for like 5 seconds and does nothing.
She was kind of badass.
Yeah, but
was she though?
I said kinda.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you,
training.
Chuck. I'm with you, Chuck. There's a point in the movie where I thought, isn't Captain Phasma supposed to be in this?
And she's like the elite guard, right?
And she just shows up at yeah.
No, I mean, it definitely was a waste of like the character and the actress.
Yes.
She slips and falls into a Death Star tractor beam, or the Death Star beam, dude.
And she goes,
whoops.
No, I was going to say it, and she goes, whoa, 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 whoa. But those are my main like pros and cons. When we're going to spoilers, I can point out the specific moment I feel like the movie could have and should have ended. But again, Adam Driver and Mark Hamill are fucking amazing. That's the story between, like, that new story of the new Force users was really, really well done. I think that Chewie got shafted.
Yep.
And that made the lack of Han more prevalent, because there were points where it was like, and I think that's part of what made me feel...
Chewbacca probably only had like 2 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, and
but he was also kind of like out of the loop, and then like it wasn't like he was in a certain position where it wasn't about him, so he was just kind of in a bad. He was just in a bad spot for his character.
Do you guys have any pros or cons you want to bring up, and then I think we go into spoilers here in a little bit.
I'm trying to think if there are any that I can say without spoiling anything.
I know that one thing that has gotten criticized that's non-spoilery, the humor. People were bitching about the humor. I did not think that it was...
Most of it I didn't. I mean, some of it I laughed at, some of it I didn't, but it wasn't something that I was like, oh my god.
A couple spots I didn't like, only that it took away from some of the gravity of it.
And then we can go into that here. I think I know what you're mentioning. We can go into that in a little bit in spoilers. Well, what was the other thing? I cut you off.
I was about to just start talking about it. So
okay, all right, yeah. So I guess then, right now we're gonna go into spoilers of the movie. So if you have yet to see The Last Jedi, I would say see it.
Definitely.
Yeah, still see it.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it again tomorrow.
I'm gonna eventually probably see it at least one more time, probably two, because I might see it with my dad as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so go see it. If you don't care about spoilers, then go ahead and listen to the rest of it.
I think this is pretty much... Oh, no, we still got stuff we actually like.
Yeah. Well, I'll add in a little timestamp so that people know when we stop talking about Last Jedi.
All right, sounds good.
If you don't want to hear spoilers, just delete all the other episodes and re-download them. And just listen to those, because they don't have any spoilers in them.
Exactly.
Especially for The Last Jedi.
So now to the spoilers. This movie fucking sucked. No, I'm kidding.
That's a spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Sweet, this sucked. No,
take alarm.
Jesus. that
I didn't mean to project this much.
That was alarming.
Yeah.
Badoomts.
You might have to tweak that
one. Steve, do you want to start us off with a little spoilery thoughts? What do you think about what they did with Luke? What do you think about what they did with the porgs or pargs?
Okay, if we're doing that, I thought the porgs looked like really bad animations that someone put in a YouTube video.
Yeah, they didn't look finished. They were still kind of cute though.
I'm gonna leave that there. I really liked what Luke did. I know people have been crapping on Luke because they were like, he said, "Come get me if you need me." When they come get him, he's like, "I came here to die." Well, like, yeah, he's been sitting there.
When did he say that?
At the end of Halo 2.
No, I mean, like it's partially an implied thing, like that he left the map for R2 or whatever. I don't know.
I think that's horseshit. You could always say that. Did he leave the map with R2, or did R2 have?
I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care. He went. Like, all I know is that he went to this island, and after some amount of time, after some contemplation and reviewing ancient Jedi texts and thinking about the thing and what he's done in his life. That the Jedi Order needs to be done. Like, he's just clearly really upset about lots of things, and he's made a decision, and he kind of reevaluates that after he talks to Rey, and after he thinks about
and after Yoda kind of tells him, like, hey,
stop being a bitch.
Yeah, which I think was great, because Charlie, you said this was one of the less impactful moments, I guess, because your crowd erupted in laughter when Luke just immediately tosses the lightsaber behind him, which was, we talked about it earlier, that is it's funny, but it's not like
uproariously funny.
Yeah, like, and then also
when it happened, I was like, turn it off for me but
it made it less poignant for you of a
people
gesture.
Laughing so hard that it's like okay, it's a little funny because it's just like whatever, but I don't know. That was more an issue with my audience, and not like
yeah, and it made because I thought that was great. I know people were pissed about that because they're like, oh, after all this time of the mystery of him, that's what he does. He just tosses a lightsaber away. It's like, yeah, because he didn't want to fucking be found. And somebody came and found him, and they're trying to be like, "Here you go," and he's like, "No, fuck this."
Like this is what I consider to be the root of all terrible things in this galaxy.
Fuck this laser sword, which I thought was
weird. Him calling it that.
Was really I was
like,
weird.
What?
It sounded like your parents talking about.
Yeah.
Star Wars, or your grandparents,
I guess. It's not too bad here. We got a Nintendo.
Yeah, it's like, oh, didn't you get one of them Nintendos for Christmas? It's like, Dad, it's an Xbox.
But
that's what I said.
I liked a lot of. I pretty much liked all of Luke's development and growth from what he was at the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie.
Yeah, I did as well. I thought that I was very happy at the end when he dematerialized, when it shows that he was an apparition when he confronted Kylo, that they showed the dice that apparently is now a thing, because that's not in any other Star Wars movie, the dice that he takes off of the Millennium Falcon, but that they showed that disappear. Because I was like, because when he first disappeared, I was like, wait, but he was holding Leia's hand, and I was like, but wait, he gave her an item.
So then does he just like forced suicide?
No, I think it's a similar to Yoda. Like he,
I guess, yeah.
He found
okay, yeah.
Found so much peace with the Force that.
I thought it was kind of like he found so much peace, and that he just exerted himself, because he essentially just astral projected himself across the fucking galaxy.
Yeah, to do some fucking Matrix moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys figured out that he wasn't there. I figured it out pretty early because I was like, why is his beard brown again?
I thought, and his hair was short too.
Yeah, the hair short could have been explained away, like him cleaning up on the way in.
And
but the first moment I saw his beard, I was like, huh.
And I mean, this may not be the case, but also he looked a little CGI-ish at times. Like parts of his.
I never thought that.
I mean, that's not like him being an apparition. Like I was like, man, he kind of doesn't look like Mark Hamill 100%. It looks like Disney's. I can't think of their name. What's the name of that CGI place that they use? Not Light and Magic, is it? It's okay.
I thought it was Light and Magic.
Maybe it's Light and Magic. It's like they made young Mark Hamill. Like they do,
right.
Yeah. But anyway, that scene was awesome. Them confronting each other, their fight. I feel
the
like
scene before when Kylo's still on the AT-AT, and he's like, "Fucking kill that person!" Like just the blind rage that he goes into,
and that's part
was
of why
fantastic.
I know people have criticized Kylo's character for stuff like that, calling him like a whiny emo kid or something like that. But that's part of what I like about him, about how. Not only how just the blind rage, but also the fact that, like in The Force Awakens, when he's clearly he has blind rage, and he's also like mad at the fact that he still has light in him, and he's like just fucking like like fuck this shit. But I think that the movie could have ended and I thought it was going to end when they got to the planet. That the escape pods got to the planet. I was like, oh man, yep. And they're like, all right, now everybody get to the battle. I was like, we're still. Oh, so we're watching the battle. I thought that was next movie.
Right, can I get into my biggest thing?
No. Okay. So and then
see you guys.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So my biggest thing was, and I thought they were setting up to be so cool, because I know we've mentioned this before, I don't know about on the cast, but maybe off the cast, that it would be really, really bold and awesome if they did have Rey turn evil, and I was like, oh shit, when they first show her, and Luke's like, you didn't resist the dark side at all. I thought it's like, oh, fuck, yeah, they might actually do this. That would be so interesting, and then have Kylo go.
Sith?
Well, no, have Kylo go good then.
Oh,
would
I didn't
be an
think
interesting
of that.
flip, and really.
See, I didn't think they would do that because everybody was thinking that so hard.
Well, nobody from them though, and that still would have been bold because it was like you can't not admit that it was like, all right, we got this random girl, and it's cool that she's going to be the hero and all this stuff, and to turn her evil would be such an interesting choice. Yes. And even if they kept Kylo evil.
I agree. I think that there was a moment, for sure where I was pretty confident that she was going to side with Kylo with the whole end the past. Let the past go. Get rid of everything.
Oh, that's what I'm about to get into, a bigger theory, if you don't mind. Then I thought it would have been awesome if they would have kept the two-sided story of Luke wants to end the Jedi and kind of bring balance, and just like, there's not going to be any more Sith, really, because they're eventually going to die. There's not going to be any more Jedi then either, because I'm going to keep all this secret until I die and just let it die away. And then I love that since Luke never had the formal training to become a Jedi Master, like he was worked with Yoda and stuff, but still not like everybody else. So he's kind of a like Jedi Master. He had
a couple weeks of
Jedi Master asterisk. So I thought that was neat for him to take the stance of like, well, the Jedi have really failed in their overall mission, so it's like, okay, that's cool. And then to combine that with Kylo of doing evil stuff, but in that end moment when he's like, I don't care about Sith, I don't care about Jedi. Let's bring order to the galaxy and just end all that. Just end all of that and do it right. It's like, oh shit, this could be really cool. They kind of have the same goals, but on coming from opposite sides.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be cool. And especially since he did turn on, I was about to say Plagueis, Snoke.
Oh shit. Spoiler alert, dude. You have the inside info.
Yeah. And when he turned on, it's like, dude, this is going to be awesome if...
When Snoke got killed? Ironic, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Didn't you hear one of the red cards go, ironic? That's proof that he's Plagueis.
And then for him...
he can save others from death.
And for him to just not care so much about... Like, I don't care about the rebels. I don't care about the First Order and all this shit. And then for him... It was just disappointing to me that then he went back to like, all right, let's kill him. I would have rather, like you said earlier, rather him just kill his mom and go hardcore evil.
I wanted him to kill Leia at that moment. I thought that was a little cop-out.
That's what I was thinking, like, okay, they could have gone far left and gone one way or far right the other way, and they kind of just...
I do agree with him not killing his mother. That definitely read harder for the switch.
Well, see, the thing is, I didn't like that he... I was mixed about him not killing Leia in that scene. I was like, okay, I can get maybe there's a little bit there. Then I loved that his like side TIE fighter dudes just blew the fuck out of it anyway. Mm-hmm. Then I fucking hated that Leia just all of a sudden was alive and Mary Poppins'd her way back to
it doesn't bother me. I just think it didn't look good.
That's why it bothers me.
It doesn't make any sense though.
I mean,
it doesn't make sense. And
why doesn't it make sense?
Because she has no training in any of it.
But when have we ever seen a Jedi be in the vacuum of space and just be able to float back and then...
I mean, I could... Okay.
I was listening to one guy that made a great point saying, why didn't Emperor Palpatine just fly back out of that shaft then? And he wasn't even in space. And he was hella stronger and more trained than her.
I don't know. I just thought... I kind of read it as, like, it's been a long time. She probably had... I don't know about training much, but she's always been considered, like, really strong, force sensitive.
I mean,
at least.
You could argue she's had this time to meditate and be able to be more.
But I kind of read it as like a survival instinct.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's not like she. It was like, oh god, the ship's blowing up. Like, damn it, and then like get back on the ship as soon as humanly possible, and then collapse.
Well, Tyler and I were talking before you came over. Sorry, Tyler. 1 second. I thought it would have been portrayed better or more realistic if once she saw like. If they would have had her seeing that, like, the ships were coming and shooting, if she would have somehow, as soon as it got blown out, held herself on the ship and used some sort of force to just close some blast doors really quick. Just something like a quick, like, just trigger. Even if she used it to just flip a switch, would be something that, it's like, okay, she's not trained, but clearly there's enough Skywalker midichlorians in her blood that she could do something.
I bet that, given, if she were still alive, the actress, their names, I can't think of it. Carrie Fisher. Jesus Christ. If Carrie Fisher were still alive, I would wager that this was going to... and I think it's already been said, she was going to play a bigger role in 9. Yeah. And I would bet that kind of thing was going to be more delved into and explored with 9, with her having this power and apparently... Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. The survival instinct kind of... taking over, because then she's in a coma for a while, so it's almost like she unconsciously does it.
And then like taxes herself.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
No,
that looks stupid.
I would be fine with the survival instinct too if it. Okay, let's just say it keeps her alive, and then they are somehow like pick her up just out of respect.
Yeah,
and then it's like, oh shit, somehow she's still alive. That'd be a little bit better to me.
Yeah, the hyperdrive scene. Everybody's fucking beating off about that.
It was
cool.
It was cool, but then somebody made a good point. Like if that lady knew that she could do that, which they should have. You could solve this so easily. Just say like, I don't know if this shit's gonna work, and then try it. Yeah. But if she did know, and they had all those ships, they sacrificed like 4 ships.
I leaned in.
Just shot one of those.
I leaned into my friend.
All 4.
When I was watching the movie, I leaned into my friend and said, "Why wasn't that Plan A?"
Yeah, or do it with like an X-wing. Somebody, another person I was listening to talked about, say when Poe was first arriving that X-wing, just autopilot that bitch and just shoot it right through the dreadnought.
My first thought was like, there's a general that was like, all right guys, I have a plan. Now it's a little wild. Okay, you know how every battle we lose like a bunch of people, a bunch of X-wings, and a capital ship? What if I told you we could just lose a capital ship
once with one pilot?
Yeah, and they went like the long way. Normally, all the ships are lined up from left to right.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, they're coming. They're trying to flank us. Oh, wait, what? And then just yeah.
Was Husk on that ship?
And not only did it just do one.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't because he's later in the movie.
I was thinking like, oh, it'll have one straight like puncture line through all of it.
No, it was like a fracture.
It was like a huge. It was like a rip in space. It was like the ship's way far spread out. It's like holy shit. You should have done this 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
it's hard to ignore.
I didn't think about that.
And another person, I can't remember who it was. I've just been like looking at lots of different conversations saying like that would have been the best blaze of glory for Admiral Akbar.
Yeah,
holy shit!
It fucking sucks that they killed him off. I think that I guess I just saw it as I mean, she didn't explicitly say it, but I saw it as well, I gotta fucking try something.
Yeah.
To get them off I know what you mean. And so she just like fucking aim at him and just go. Like maybe that'll do some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just the way that they the way that the opposing bridge responded. Like they were like, "Oh, this is not good. Like this is the thing that kills us all."
Yeah.
Not just like what is she gonna do? She's a fucking cruiser. Like just fucking plow through that bitch.
I want to. Okay, go ahead.
What if the ship just blew up on the front of the ship? That would have been so awesome. Funny.
Or if it was like the old Star Destroyers and it just hit one of their shield things.
Yeah. The shield balls.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna briefly say Finn and Rose's storyline was pointless at the end of the day.
And I'm sure you guys have heard the comments about it being a casino planet and Lando Calrissian not being the guy there.
I think that's
the entire time I was like,
I didn't think that, but I also at the end of the movie I thought the whole Chewie thing, I was like, so we didn't have a Han. At least give us call Billy D up. Get Chewie
said he's just waiting.
It's like Chewie needs somebody like that with him. Yeah. Like he needs that, and the
second they were going to the casino, planet, I was like, be Lando.
And then, but on the casino planet when they're escaping, that's the moment when I thought this is going a bit long.
Well, and they get like a parking ticket, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, who cares?
Well, yeah, when it's specifically when they were on the creatures and they were running down that short. He's like, we need cover. He's like, too much cover. When they're hitting all the lights, at that moment I thought, this could be done.
And I was listening to somebody. I brought up another good point, not to just be vomiting up everybody's points, but just to bring up talking points. That Rose didn't think that any of that was worth it until she took the saddle off that one thing.
Exactly. Like, I thought that was kind of weird.
All that other shit, fuck it.
Exactly.
Cares? But now that we made this animal's back,
it was
more
weird.
comfortable.
It was weird that she kissed him at the end. It just was kind of out of nowhere.
And I thought she was for sure going to be alive still, and then she just kind of Talia'd.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I liked that. A lot of their plans just didn't work though, and I liked that that Leia shot Poe, stunned him at the end, because
the old animation too was cool.
Yeah, And she was because as a leader, she didn't think the risk was worth it to put all those people through it.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that, like they were kind of showing that these are fucking gambles for these people, and they're gambling pretty much the entire rebellion at that point.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's one real quick thing. When I went to kind of go back, when Leia got blown out of that ship, I thought, oh, fuck, this is how they're killing her off for a second. And I was thinking, like...
I'm pretty sure every human being this
exactly, but then when I saw her out in space, it's like, okay, this is going to be cool if her last moment is her reaching out to Luke via the Force. That's her last thing she can do is use the Force, contact Luke, and let him know, like, some real shit's going on. That's his thing that then brings him back. But, like, boom. That's great. I'm totally happy with that. And then she like turned into a superhero.
Yeah, I feel like. I mean, I don't think it was intentional because they didn't plan. Carrie Fisher don't unexpectedly die like she did.
Yeah.
But it did feel like it was a little cheap play at everybody knows she's dead, and we all know that she's going to have to.
I didn't think about it like that.
That she's going to
that feels dirty now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
She's going to have to be written out. So here's the old bait and switch.
Honestly, that's like the first thing that came to mind. That's what made it even worse in my opinion, because I was like, oh, so we just got bait and switched on somebody's real death. Like I thought this is how they retroactively wrote out her character, and I was like kind of impressed. I was like, oh, okay, because some of the CGI didn't look that good in that moment when that thing blew up. So I was like, oh, that's kind of impressive though. They added her into this scene of the explosion, and they're gonna
they took a scene of her when a bee is flying around in the bridge, and she's like, ugh. And
exactly. So I want to touch on something real quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up and move on. What did you guys think about the Yoda appearance?
I thought it was cool.
I liked it.
Yeah, I just wish we would have gotten Obi-Wan and maybe even Anakin would have been nice.
That would have been cool.
I did feel like part of it looked bad. Like me and my friend were talking about it when he looked more physical, he looked good, but when he was like Force Ghost, it looked a little weird.
When he was first appeared, it looked odd. Yeah. I think it was some weird lighting.
And it seemed like they kept transitioning from Force Ghost to, okay, he's really here. Okay, now he's got a kind of bluish tint. He's like the ghost. Now he's
not only is
really
he actually physically touching Luke, but also he has lightning powers that he can call upon, that was kind of odd.
I don't have as big of a problem with that, I guess, because he's totally connected with the Force, I guess.
Yeah. But I did like that interaction. That interaction made me smile because it like I said with Mark Hamill's voice, like it was Return of the Jedi, Empire Strike Back's Yoda and Luke talking, like Yoda being all like a dick, fucking with Mark. I mean, well, Luke, my bad. And Luke being all kind of just like, fucking tell me, like, come on, what? I don't care. And then obviously that line about the ancient texts, he's like, but you destroyed the ooh, read them, have you? Like that is big page turners. Like just calling him out, like, dude, no, you haven't read that shit. There's nothing in there that's gonna be new. But then also the fact that Rey saved it, so they didn't get destroyed anyway.
I don't know.
So fuck you. I don't know.
I just thought of something about like the Rose Finn thing when they were doing like the sand jumpers there at the end, and she like knocks him out of the way to like to prevent him from going Randy Quaid on the
yeah, which her reasoning was dumb because she was like, we save each other, and in my mind I was like, yeah, that's what Finn was gonna do.
I didn't really understand how he survived that either, but it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, his plan was to save everybody, but instead she was like, no, we save each other, and I was like, yeah, that was his fucking plan, was to save each other. Like,
I don't know. I kind of viewed it more as like they're trying, like they're killing us plenty. Let's not kill ourselves.
I gotcha. So what was your gonna?
And that's I like that it was kind of a like they're gonna kill us as much as they can. Let's not help them out.
Yeah. Okay.
Like let's try to focus on like stopping them without just throwing our lives away.
Them out, though.
I gotcha.
She did.
I think that it's still I think it was a good movie and it's worth seeing. Obviously it's easy to find faults in good or bad movies and then focus on them. But it was a good movie. Go ahead.
One biggest wish for the next one?
Yes, go ahead. If you got one too, Steve.
I got one. I would just say I hope they do something more with Kylo than just make him hardcore evil now.
Yes. I would like a almost him kind of abolishing the First Order.
Would be awesome. Or have him, like, I know the term Grey Jedi gets thrown around a lot, but have somebody where he's not totally evil, but he's like, I'm not going to be a Jedi either, but I'm going to do my own thing of sorts. Because that concept is really intriguing to me, and I'd like to see it.
I kind of want to see him, like, kind of drop the childlike anger at, like, now that he's in charge, like, rather than him, now that he's not, going to someone's demands, he just, like, was like, this is not fucking working. Like, I can't just keep letting my emotions control everything I do. I want to see him, like, really think about what he's doing and, like, grow to either like us, like the true Sith Lord, or, like you said, kind of be like, this isn't how we function. Like, I got to do something different.
He's gonna have to find a apprentice or something, because there's the rule of two with Sith or whatever.
Yeah, I know if he is even a Sith.
I guess.
I don't know. If you get one of those royal guards, they were pretty badass.
Yeah, they were. I liked their new weapons. But yeah, so moving on to stuff we actually like. If you want to talk Last Jedi, I guess hit us up on the Facebook or whatever if you want to talk more in detail. But this is already going kind of long, so I know we could talk about this shit for.
We probably will after the.
Yeah, probably. So Steve, you want to go ahead and mention something you actually like?
I have watched a couple movies since I'm no longer in class right now. I've watched a bunch of Netflix already, and just kind of
never heard of that movie.
just been kind of clicking around, and I watched Shimmer Lake, a Netflix original, and it was pretty good. It was kind of a not in order timeline sort of movie where it shows a bank robbery from the three main people who were robbing the bank, and kind of their decisions throughout the day, and then it kind of pieced the whole picture together of why they were all involved and how things kind of ended. It was really.
When did it come out?
It's pretty recent, I believe.
Shimmer Lake. Okay, Charlie.
So mine was going to be my movie news thing, but then I realized that the other one is more applicable. But then this isn't something I really like, so I'll spin it so it is. I really like Terry Crews.
Yes.
I think
great.
We
all do.
Yeah, he's great
the world
in
loves
all
Terry
sorts of
Crews.
roles. I learned today that
he's going to be a T-Rex.
No, that he was cast and filmed scenes for Terminator Salvation.
As what?
Some colonel or something.
Christian Bale?
Yeah, so they filmed all his scenes, and then they cut all of his scenes out of the movie.
Really?
But you can still see his dead body in one of the scenes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Interesting. So I don't like that, because I would have liked that movie better then, probably.
Yeah.
But I do like Terry Crews, so that's my thing I like.
That is very interesting. That's a little cool little.
How dumb would that be for him to be like, yeah, I was in that. See my dead body there, like half charred.
It's on his reel.
It's his head take, actually, or his headshot.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And then something I actually like. I've been playing. I borrowed it from a friend at work. I've been playing Persona 5 lately on the old PS4. It is very much like anime,
pure on JRPG.
Yeah, it is very hard.
It's the JRPGist.
Yeah, it is very much so. Like, and as somebody, I grew up playing a lot of JRPGs like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest.
Me too.
I feel like that's not true.
You're right.
And this is I mean, there are literal cutscenes that are just anime, but I'm still really enjoying it. It's very interesting. You like go to school, and you literally are like having to play through weeks of going through school, and also like it sounds not as it sounds. I agree. It sounds ridiculous and stupid, but it actually is.
Welcome to everything I ever have to describe to both of you.
The way that it is executed makes it good, because it doesn't. You don't actually have to sit through a fucking 8-hour school day.
No, you actually have to do math class and English class,
and then like you got to get a part-time job. But the thing is, on the back burner, you're secretly like able to go into this metaverse and kind of do these things. Where like one thing
don't you like kill demons and shit?
Pretty much, yeah. And so you have to go through your everyday life, just kind of hide that you on the side do this, and also to fund, like, pay for items for you to be able to survive in the metaverse and stuff like that.
Your real world items work in there?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So because it takes place in Japan, and I guess they have pretty strict gun laws, but not as strict as like Australia, so you can still have like airsoft guns. So you go to the airsoft gun shop and you buy airsoft guns, but in the metaverse, since you can like believe that it's a real weapon that hurts somebody, and since that's also how like the demons can perceive what you are seeing, then it's an actual real weapon that hurts them. So yeah, it's stuff like that carries over.
Airsoft bazooka.
Yeah, but yeah, it's cool.
Fuck, they get one of those like Nerf football like launchers,
and it's like 100 hours long. And
at least
I'm like 12 hours
10 in. Halo games.
I know. I'm like 12 hours in, and I am still in the tutorial.
Holy shit!
There are things that I know it hasn't taught me how to do yet, and I've beaten the first dungeon.
He's just creating his character.
Yeah, it's a very intense customization. But yeah, so I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Steve,
you gotta pick the right color for those cornrows.
Yeah. The dimples have to be just the right place.
Just dimple enough.
All right, Steve, what do we got?
Let's see. So we've got, you can find us online on pretty much all of our socials are at Movie Versus Podcast. That's versus VS, not the word. And you can find us at Twitter at Movie Versus Podcast. Our email, if you want to get us hold of us there, is movieversuspodcast@gmail.com. Then Movie Versus Podcast on Facebook. And is it just at Movie Versus on Instagram? Is that just how that works?
Yes.
I'm not an Instagram person. And then, of course, we have our other groups. The Three Wise Media, Good, Bad, or Bad, Bad. This film is lit. Beyond the Blast Doors, which is our Star Wars podcast. So if you want even more Last Jedi stuff, I'm sure they have everything you want.
Yeah.
And
they're probably pretty busy right now.
Yeah. And then Critical Misadventure, the D&D podcast that involves Landlord Kevin's brother.
Yes, correct. That's everything. Bye.
Movie Versus is a production of Three Wise Media. For more information, check us out on Facebook.